we're going to kick off the whole show. So again, I'm Kim Shivler. I teach people to build online training courses from content creation all the way through to the delivery platforms. And you may find me at howtobuildanonlinecourse.com. We are still launching that site, but I have already started the, excuse me, I'm just disappearing here. I have already started the blog, so I'm going to give you a link for that while Dagmar introduces herself.
Hi, I'm Dagmar Gattal, and I started search engine optimization around 8 years ago. How I help entrepreneurs is really trying to figure out what is their most profitable niche and how can they position themselves as an authority in it. Because we all know making money is important in our businesses, but also we want to make a difference in other people's lives and in the world. By being an authority, I think that's the best way to do it.
Excellent. So let's get started. So what really does it mean? We put our banner out there. We're going to talk about niching content for the holidays. What does that actually mean for somebody?
So when I think about niching content for the holidays, right, and I'm just a left-brainer, I don't have a lot of creativity. I always think in structures. I always think in concepts, right? I think a lot of people, when they create content for the holidays, they think of what topic they should write about and then what season it is. So when you see, for example, when you see hashtags out there, they say makeup tips or beauty tips, and then Christmas or for Thanksgiving, things like that. So niching for the holidays really is you combine both. So when you write content on your website or in social media, or when you create slideshares for slideshows for slideshare.net, you want to combine both. You want to have the keyword and the seasonal keyword, and you combine it in a content that makes sense for just this specific event. So let's say an example, right? Example is makeup tips. So if you would write something about makeup tips and just hashtag it with Christmas or with New Year's, then you divide the keyword and you let people search for or find it as a result for the makeup tips, but also as a result for New Year's. What you really want to do, you really want to bring it together and do makeup tips for the holidays, or holiday makeup tips, or makeup tips for New Year parties. So in this way, you niche it down and you go very specific into the niche market you want to reach.
Mm-hmm. And now, would you still use those same hashtags for that?
I would use a combination of hashtags. I would use a specific hashtag to make it very niche and to reach the people who are looking for right now the makeup tips for the holidays. And I also would add, I don't know if you hear the lawnmower just right now, somebody started with it. Do you hear it?
A little bit.
A little bit. Let me, hope it wasn't. Okay. And I also would add the makeup tips and holidays 2015 to it. So I would niche it, plus make it broader with adding additional hashtags to it.
Okay, good idea. So as I mentioned, Christmas is coming up just in a couple of days, this Friday, and today's Wednesday. Is it too late for someone to start getting this type of content out there?
What I would do, I would create specific advertising for it, where you at the end would have to pay, like Facebook ads or Twitter ads. But also what I would do, I would create Pinterest boards. And I would create Pinterest boards, makeup tips for the holidays, or holiday makeup tips. And then when you create the pins, I would name them as 15. So when people look for the seasonal content, they also see the year. So more specific you can do it, so more niche down you can do it, so faster you will be found for a specific search.
Okay, so you dropped out for just a minute there. you would have like makeup tips 2015. That's what you were saying?
I would name the board holiday makeup tips, or makeup tips for the holidays. And then I would create specific pins for now this season.
Okay. What if you're somebody who maybe is not as visual? Like makeup tips are beautiful to have pictures of. What if you're someone who that level of imagery may not fit? Where would you go?
If they want to come up in search and don't have in their industry the ability with the images, I would create Google collections.
Okay.
That's the newest one. And I would name the Google collection properly, and then would research what is already available on the market and what can you create from your own blog post or from your Google Plus messages and add to it. And so bigger your collection is, so more will be the recognition you gain, and so easier it will be for you to come up right now for this holiday season.
Okay, so it sounds like it's kind of a full-fledged content approach, right? So for example, in the makeup, you might have blog posts about makeup tips, but then you're also going to have a Pinterest board, and I'm guessing you're also sharing that in Twitter and other platforms?
Yeah, the key is when you do the boards in Pinterest or in Google Collections, you don't have to create all this content. Mm-hmm. You can research and add other relevant, hopefully not competitive content to it, but make it a great resource for people so that people have really the desire to share it. Mm-hmm. But, okay. for sure, if you want to be seen right now everywhere, like then you want to go with Facebook ads or with Twitter ads to do that.
Okay, so possibly put an advertising budget behind it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point.
And so more specific you can do it, so more you can niche it down with the advertising budget, so cheaper it will become to get the leads in.
Okay, that makes perfect sense on that side. So I'm hearing, like I said, we're going to approach this from multiple directions. I like the idea of sharing other people's content. Mm-hmm. I guess that would be both on those boards and your other platforms also, correct?
Yeah.
Your Facebook, et cetera, sharing.
Yeah, and then the latest, what I heard, what's going into the search is, excuse me, when you create events. And I did not test this out yet. I will test it out for New Year's. So when you create an event like makeup tips for the holiday season 2015, for example, right? When you create this specific event, because it has relevance for right now, so it will be pulled in the internal search of the social media networks, but also in the Google search if it has relevance.
Okay, so actually not just posting to your Facebook page, but creating an event makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then inviting people to that.
Mm-hmm. So more relevant content or relevant awareness you can create for a very specific niche keyword. So higher is your chance to come up before all your competitors, and your conversion rate is just great because of the niching process. Okay,
excellent. I think we should test that event mm-hmm. piece.
Yeah.
So we need to be posting our blabs as an event, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. I haven't been doing that. I think it's time.
Yep.
So as we move, so we've just got 2 days till Christmas. We talked about that, but we've still got a whole nother week to start celebrating New Year's, and really even into that month of January, people are thinking about the new year and their resolutions and, mm-hmm. and that type of thing. Are there any particular niches that you see who really have relevant content to share going into the new year? I mean, obviously we all do have some level, but I think that seasonally certain niches sometimes have bigger audiences.
Like you can clearly see everything what is product related mm-hmm. is now where people are looking for much more than any other type of the day. So Pinterest right now is huge with products. So if you have a product and you create a pin and you make it relevant to the pricing, the features and everything, so that is for sure a great shopping tool for anybody who's looking for product. What I would say about niches in general, especially for next year, right? Mm-hmm. Every niche has, excuse me, has a macro niche and has micro niches underneath, right? So like the macro niche is money, or the macro niche is health, or the macro niche is beauty or travel. So, and then you have the sub niches underneath, which are really the micro niches because they're so much smaller. What I do, I go to Google Trends, and then I look how my macro niche is trending and what micro niches, what sub niches coming up underneath where I should pay attention to.
Okay, and you find that at Google Trends?
Mm-hmm.
So can you get, maybe you could get us some links to that so that we can put them in
Sure.
the show notes? For people who have not used Google Trends yet, I'm not sure. Those of you on the sidebar, if you have questions that you want to ask also, please feel free to enter those. What about, so then would it come to kind of the micro niche for example, a lot of people I work with who are in the fitness industry, January mm-hmm. is a big month for them, right? Because everybody makes that New Year's resolution that next year I'm going to lose that 20 pounds and get in shape and all. So January can be sometimes very significant for when they make their money. So do they need to then be strategizing on this with the content that they're going to create to make sure they're getting that audience at the time when the audience is hot to buy?
Yeah, if I would do it for the fitness industry, I would do a series. I would not do a one-time thing. Mm-hmm. I would build up to let's do reverse engineering, right? So I would think about what is the program, what is the coaching, what is the course I want to promote. Mm-hmm. But give me just a second. I saw there was one window open in my sunroom. So what I would do, I would do reverse engineering, and I would think, okay, what is the fitness program, or what is the fitness course, what I want to promote, and then break it down in elements, right? Perhaps 7 to 12 elements, and then host events or host webinars or create blog posts broken down by this. So you don't touch your audience only once, but you touch them again and again and again. So in this way, your conversion rate is much higher, but also the trust they can build over time benefits you.
Excellent. So what I'm hearing here, and I think, I know for me, this is really good as I go into the new year, is if we're coming into a time where it's definitely a specific time where I want to get in touch in front of my niche because it's that time of year, like for example, accountants, right? Mm-hmm. From now till April 15th is the accountant's crunch time.
Yeah.
And in June, nobody wants to talk to them. So they want to make sure that between now and April that they're getting in front of those audiences. So it's a time when we're going to build a lot of content, it sounds like, around who I'm trying to reach.
Absolutely. And what I would do, if you know exactly when your biggest time is, where everybody's looking for you, I would start with the content creation at least 2 months in advance, at least. And then perhaps start sharing a month before your season starts to bring them into the mood, to make it easy, to make it light, to connect with them, to track with them, so that they are curious about who you are and what you share, and then start with the more in-depth, more perhaps technical, more informative content.
Okay, so I think everybody who is in that accounting arena, next year you're going to start in November. Mm-hmm. But this year, we're going to go ahead and jump in and do what we can now. Exactly. Before next Friday, we're going to go ahead and jump in and make sure that we're building things to reach our audience. Because again, for some of these niches, this really is a great time to make sure you're getting in front of them, whether it is the accounting the anything to do with goals, right? People who are goal setting type things. This is the time of year when everyone is looking at, what did I get done this last year? What do I want to get done next year? And, what kind of tools am I going to use to help me get there?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just talk about the accountants for a second, right? So I'm pretty sure the accountants, they have a process in place, perhaps a checklist in place when somebody comes to them, what they review, right? Or how they analyze the client's content to help them better. So what I would do, I would use this checklist and break it down in single topics, and then just give a hint for each topic. Give perhaps share one or two secrets for each topic, so that it builds up an excitement, and it builds up that your client really understands, why do they need you? Why can they not do it on their own? Why are you an expert? So in this way, you have enough time to do it. And like same with the holidays, right? Can you do something now? Absolutely. Would it be better if you start 2 months in advance, and then think about what do you promise, what do you approach, how do you serve, and break this down in sub niches or subtopics or subcategories, and then create content, social media messages, videos, slideshows, archives, Google collections, boards for these.
Okay, that's really good advice for anyone in one of those fields. And next year, we're all going to start earlier. Yep. This year, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Elizabeth, I think for what you do also with a social media agency, a great time to get in front of people, because they are people, like, even I know for myself, as I go through this goal process, I'm looking at, well, what did I get done in social media this year? And what I'm really pleased with versus, what I maybe missed out on that I need to focus on in the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I think of, Elizabeth, if you would allow me to share that, if I think of social media, like for sure there are trends coming up for next year. There were trends this year. How did they work out, right? From your experience, Elizabeth, what worked well, what didn't work at all? Because they are experts and they are amateurs, and the experts tested, and the amateurs need to follow an expert advice to prevent making the pitfalls. So who wouldn't want to prevent pitfalls? We all. So I think that by niching down, the benefit of niching down is you can show that you're an expert, you can show that you're an authority, you know what you're talking about, but you're also so specific that somebody can take tips, somebody can take a strategy or advice from this. It's not too broad, that it's just information, and after you hear it, you think it's great to know, but what should I do with it? So really by niching down, it gives your audience an opportunity to get a first taste of how do you work. Are you ethical with integrity? Do you work more in detail, or do you work more visual? So all the different things, really by niching down, it helps your audience to understand, what do you offer? Do they want to connect? And is there the chemistry between you and this audience?
Excellent. Thank you. So Elizabeth actually got knocked out right as we were telling her all about her topic. So Elizabeth, what Dagmar was saying, that I had mentioned that for you as a social media person, this is a good time to get in front of people, because most of us for our business are looking at, what did we succeed in last year and what do we want to build for the next year when it comes to our social media, which is, an integral part of our content now. It's not just sticking out there what we had for breakfast. It's business. And so she was saying that it's a great time for you as the expert to be able to analyze what worked for people last year, what's going to be trending this year, and how you can help them get to that next level. Yeah. So I think that's going to be great with you. And anybody else, we are kind of wrapping up the formal part of this. If anybody has any questions for Dagmar, if you would like to put them into the side. And again, we will be having the replays of this on YouTube for anyone that missed part of it. And as I'm waiting for that, if anybody has a question, I'll go ahead and announce next Wednesday, same time, noon. We're very excited. We're going to have April Iannazone joining us on niching your sales funnel.
Yeah, will be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be great. She is an awesome sales coach, business coach, and she really, I think we all know if we have a website and we're trying to sell things that we need a sales funnel. But, too many times when I see people tell you how to do a sales funnel, it's all cookie cutter, everybody doing the same thing. And that's not going to really have a connection with your audience if it just looks like everybody else's sales funnel. So we're going to have an awesome conversation next week.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Will be great because April really has the gift, right, to understand that creating a sales funnel about your health or improving health doesn't work because everybody wants to improve their health, but there is no pain behind it. So the pain comes in when you niche it down, what April will share with us next week, and what is it really you want to gain? What is really your specific pain, and how does it really help you? So we'll be pretty cool with April next week.
It will be. I'm very excited. I hope all of you will join us. As always, there will be a YouTube replay if you can't join us. I'm going to go ahead right now and just pop the Blab link in. And then I just want to give you a few other updates before we end today. So as you can see, we're doing a series here all about niching, and we're going to kind of dedicate 2016 to making sure that we're niching our sites to a point and we're niching our message to a point where we can build our businesses to what we want them to be.
Yep.
And through that time, sometimes it'll be the two of us speaking, but we're very excited to be bringing you more experts like April, as well as some people who have gone through the process with Dagmar and seen results. So you're going to get to hear some real world, where maybe they were missing something, how they're going to how they fixed it, how they worked together on that. And I'm really excited about that piece too, because I think we all get not just information, but inspiration when we hear somebody who's successfully done what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And if you do we have a few more minutes, or are we at the end?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And if you just think about, right, niching does not mean only the technical part. Niching really means connecting with your ideal client, which is normally yourself, right? So when you think about niching, it's really to become a deeper connection to your own needs, to your own pain, to really what you stand for, and how you change somebody else's life and make it better. You cannot do this by going out and telling people, I can help you with your health. You cannot. People will not connect with you. People will not feel attracted to you. They perhaps are so scattered in their own thought and their own thinking, they will not pay attention to you. But if you speak about their pain and you understand their pain because you went through, it makes a total difference, and it just makes them believing in you, trusting you, and you converting easily so you can help many more and touch many more.
Exactly. And so just a quick review for anyone who wasn't on last week when we defined niches and talked more about how to build those niches out. She was mentioning health very specifically, because if I just sell myself as I'm going to help you with your health, well, what does that mean to anyone? Whereas if it's, I'm going to help you cure migraines, every single person who has migraines is going, okay, that I need. I'm hurting now and I need the solution. It's concrete as opposed to ethereal, like health.
Right.
Is just too ethereal.
Right. And if I can top that, if you allow me to top that, it's like migraine relief for women entrepreneurs, stressed out, burned out, and in pain. Like, if you tell me that, I'm there, because that's just exactly where my migraine's coming from. So more you break it down into the pain points, right? So more you niche it, so more you say it's not just migraines for children, and perhaps migraines for adults who had accidents. So it's so more specific you make it, so easier you will get people listening to you, because it's the trigger words, what we talked about last week. They are trigger words. Migraine is the keywords, but what is the trigger words, right? The trigger words could be accident. The trigger word could be burned out or stressed out. So we as humans, we understand the keyword, the migraine, but through the trigger word, we really create an emotion. We really create a connection with this keyword.
Excellent. Yes, you definitely went up to that, and it needed it. I forgot the trigger word part from last week. That's important.
Yes.
So I haven't seen any questions come in. So we're going to go ahead and start our wrap up. Again, please join us next Wednesday with April, because it's going to be awesome. And it will be on YouTube a little later, either this afternoon or tomorrow. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. And of course, comment if you have questions. We're available to answer those. Any last words from you today, Dagmar?
Happy holidays. Enjoy the wonderful time of your family. Much peace, and just be in the moment.
Excellent. Yes, everyone who celebrates Friday, have a Merry Christmas, or if you're going to do what I am and just relax, enjoy that too. And thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad it was good information for you. We look forward to seeing you all next week.
Bye.